When Army veteran Daniel Hayes inherited his late uncle's rundown mountain lodge, everyone in town mocked him. "That place is cursed," they sneered. "You'd be better off burning it down." But Daniel wasn't after money. He was chasing a promise his uncle once whispered: "When winter comes, the lodge will show its worth." Days later, a brutal snowstorm swept across the mountains. As Daniel tried to fix the broken roof, his German Shepherd Rex began barking furiously near an old shed buried under ice. Curious, Daniel dug through the snow until his shovel hit something solid, metallic. He brushed it clean and froze. Whatever he'd just uncovered wasn't junk. It was the beginning of a secret his uncle died protecting. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The snow fell quietly outside the attorney's office as Daniel Hayes, a decorated war veteran, sat in silence. He had expected nothing from his late uncle's will, maybe a few words of kindness. But when the lawyer handed him an envelope, murmurs filled the room. His cousins leaned forward, expecting riches. Instead, the lawyer read aloud, "To my nephew Daniel, I leave my mountain lodge, my most loyal possession to my most loyal kin." The room erupted in laughter. A rundown shack in the woods? One relative scoffed. "That's not an inheritance, that's a punishment." Daniel said nothing. He just smiled faintly, remembering the man who'd taught him to fish, hunt, and keep promises. His uncle's last words echoed in his mind. "The lodge holds what you truly deserve." A week later, Daniel packed his truck with supplies and his loyal German Shepherd, Rex. Snow blanketed the mountain roads as they climbed toward the forgotten property. Locals at a gas station chuckled, warning him about the ghost lodge that no one dared approach. Daniel simply nodded. He wasn't chasing ghosts. He was honoring family. As the truck disappeared into the white wilderness. Neither man nor dog had any idea how close they were to uncovering a secret buried beneath years of silence and snow. Snow crunched beneath Daniel's boots as he and Rex stood before the old mountain lodge. The wooden structure loomed like a ghost from another time. Its sign, half broken, still read, "Lodge Haven." Ivy crawled up the walls, and frost clung to the windows like webs. A cold wind howled through the pines, carrying a faint echo that made Daniel's chest tighten with nostalgia and unease. Inside, dust floated through the air, shimmering in the faint light that crept through broken shutters. The scent of damp wood and forgotten years filled his lungs. Daniel set down his gear, running his hand along the creaky banister. "You really let go of yourself, old man," he muttered softly, a smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. But as night fell, the silence grew heavier, almost alive. Portraits of long-gone guests hung on the walls, their eyes seeming to follow him as he moved through the dim halls. Rex's ears perked up, growling at a closed door upstairs. Daniel froze. He slowly pushed it open, revealing an old study filled with scattered papers. On the desk lay a weathered journal, its cover embossed with his uncle's initials. The first page read, "To whoever finds this, remember, loyalty is the true key. The treasure is meant for the faithful." Daniel's pulse quickened. He looked down at Rex, who wagged his tail once, as if understanding. Something about this place wasn't haunted by ghosts. It was haunted by secrets. That night, a furious snowstorm swept through the mountains, rattling the windows of the old lodge. The wind howled like voices from the past, whispering through the cracks of the wooden walls. Daniel tossed another log into the fireplace and sat beside Rex, reading through the faded pages of his uncle's journal. Most of the entries were cryptic, references to a promise kept, a secret buried where loyalty stands tall, and one phrase repeated several times. "Beneath the roots of time." Daniel frowned, tracing the words with his finger. "What were you hiding, old man?" he murmured. Suddenly, Rex's ears shot up. He barked sharply, then bolted toward the door, pawing frantically. "Rex, no, it's freezing out there." But the dog ignored him, racing into the blizzard. Daniel grabbed a lantern and followed, his boots sinking into the deep snow. Through the blinding white, he spotted Rex digging near a collapsed wooden fence. Daniel knelt beside him and brushed away the snow. His fingers struck something hard. A small, frozen chest lay buried beneath the ice, its iron lock rusted shut. Back inside, Daniel placed it by the fire, water dripping from its edges. As the metal thawed, strange engravings appeared. His uncle's initials carved beside a wolf and the words "For the loyal." Rex whined softly, eyes fixed on the chest. Daniel's breath fogged in the cold air. "Looks like we found your secret, Uncle," he whispered. "But why does it feel like someone's watching us?" The next morning, the storm had passed, leaving behind a world of blinding white. Daniel stepped outside, the snow crunching under his boots, only to stop dead in his tracks. Fresh tire marks cut across the untouched snow. Someone else had been there during the night. He scanned the tree line, uneasy. Rex growled low, ears tilted toward the woods that a rumble of an engine broke the silence. A black SUV crawled up the hill, stopping near the gate. Two men stepped out, well-dressed, but their smiles were cold. "You must be Mr. Hayes," one said smoothly. "We represent an interested buyer. We'd like to make an offer on this property." Daniel's jaw tightened. "The lodge isn't for sale." The men exchanged glances. "Think it over," the taller one replied, slipping him a card. "You'll regret refusing." Their car rolled away, leaving behind a faint smell of gasoline and suspicion. Later, as Daniel cleared snow near the porch, Rex began digging furiously at the base of an old oak tree. "What is it, boy?" Daniel brushed aside the snow, revealing a rusted tin box wedged beneath the roots. Inside lay a faded map and a small, antique key that shimmered faintly in the sun. Daniel's heart pounded. The map led straight to the frozen clearing behind the shed, right where the mysterious chest had been buried as night fell. He couldn't shake the feeling that the men would be back, and that the real danger was just beginning. Night fell heavy and silent, the moonlight casting long shadows across the snow. Daniel sat by the window, staring at the chest near the fireplace. The antique key glimmered in his palm, cold and heavy. Rex lay beside him, tense, his ears twitching at every distant sound. Then, crunching footsteps outside, Daniel grabbed his rifle and peered through the frosted glass. Two dark figures moved between the trees. His breath fogged against the window. "They're back," he whispered. A loud bang echoed through the lodge as the front door swung open. "We warned you, Hayes," one of the men shouted. Daniel ducked behind the sofa as Rex lunged forward, snarling, forcing one intruder back. The second man rushed toward the chest, but slipped on the icy floor, sending papers and snow scattering. Daniel sprang forward, tackling him hard. In the chaos, the key clattered to the floor. Rex grabbed it in his mouth and dropped it near Daniel. "Good boy," he muttered, locking the door behind them. With trembling hands, Daniel inserted the key into the chest. The lock clicked. Slowly, he lifted the lid, revealing stacks of gold bars, antique coins, and a sealed envelope marked "For the Faithful." Daniel unfolded the note inside. His uncle's handwriting clear as day. "Wealth fades. Loyalty endures. If you found this, it means you kept your promise." Daniel looked at Rex, voice breaking. "We did it, boy. We really did." Morning sunlight broke through the shattered windows, casting golden rays over the open chest. The snow outside glowed like crystal, and for the first time, the old lodge didn't feel haunted. It felt alive. Daniel sat beside the fire, the letter still trembling in his hands. His uncle's words echoed in his heart. "Loyalty endures." Rex rested his head on Daniel's knee, tail wagging gently. "We found it, buddy," Daniel whispered, stroking his fur. "But this isn't just ours." Weeks later, the town that once mocked him stood silent as news spread. Daniel Hayes, the foolish veteran, had discovered a hidden fortune in his uncle's forgotten lodge. Reporters came, neighbors stared, and those who'd laughed before now lined up to shake his hand. But Daniel didn't boast or sell the gold. Instead, he rebuilt the lodge, transforming it into a veteran's retreat, a safe haven for soldiers like him who had nowhere else to go. He named it Loyal Haven, the name his uncle once dreamed of. The walls were repaired, fires burned warm again, and laughter replaced the old silence. At the front gate, a small plaque gleamed beneath the snow, dedicated to those who served, and those who never stopped believing. One evening, Daniel stood on the porch, watching Rex chase snowflakes beneath the oak tree where it had all begun. He smiled faintly, his breath visible in the cold air. "You were right, Uncle," he murmured. "The real treasure wasn't buried in gold. It was right here all along." As snow fell softly over the mountains, the camera panned out. A loyal man, his faithful dog, and a promise finally kept.